This episode, we cover keeping it cheap between college and career, what not to buy used, and some random and awesome websites.
This is the Living Young and Free Show, giving the 25 and under crowd tips, tricks, and hacks to get the most out of your money.
Hi, I'm Cheryl, and welcome to episode 23. This episode, we're welcoming Rob Cartwright, the 2010 Young and Free St. Louis spokesperson for Vantage Credit Union. For his inaugural segment, Rob's going to give us some advice on how to handle the transition from college to career.
Rob Cartwright here with Young Free St. Louis. Today we're talking about that limbo period between graduating college and finding your first job. The National Association of Colleges and Employers states that about 20% of college graduates has a job lined up for them within a reasonable time after graduating. Now there's a lot of tips for staying on your feet during that limbo period, but I had a feeling that a lot of people hadn't really thought about it. So I'm here on the campus of Lindenwood University talking to students to see what they thought about it.
After I graduate college and before I get my first job, I really don't know what I want to do. Maybe going down to Georgia for my boyfriend. He wants to join the military, but that's my only backup plan so far.
I'll be teaching music and then around the neighborhoods. Hopefully I get a contract somewhere in one of the school districts once I get a job. But in the meantime, I'll work in like some music shops.
Right now I'm trying to save up money. I'm working at a nursing home, and so I'm saving up money now, and I'll probably end up getting an apartment or a small house with my sister after I graduate. But other than that, I'm just kind of going with the flow, and I'll figure it out later.
Now I'll have to live at home for now, but once I save enough, I'll get an apartment.
I could work and sing around Funtown for the rest of my life if I don't get a job.
Well, here's some of my own tips on what to do to stay afloat while looking for that first job. The first thing you want to think about is how you're going to generate income. First off, there's nothing wrong with getting a part-time job that's outside your field of study, because making a little bit of income is better than making no income. Do something like waiting tables at a restaurant or working retail. You're going to need a place to stay. That's where that part-time job comes in. If you're making enough income to get an apartment, that's great. But about 80% of college graduates that haven't found a job yet move back in with their parents while they're waiting to get on their feet. The next thing you want to do is lower your spending habits. Keep your rent low. If you don't have a car and you need one, try to avoid an auto loan. Buy a used car. There's nothing wrong with a beater. Don't subscribe to any newspapers or magazines. If you have a magazine subscription, you might want to think about canceling it until you have some income. Get rid of the cable TV. There's no harm in having regular TV for a few months. Now, when you finally get that first job, there might be a signing bonus or a relocation package. But even if there's not, you can negotiate for these kind of benefits. By preparing now, you increase your chances of actually getting them when you get that job offer. And lastly, once you get that first job, avoid those big purchases you've been wanting until you get your first paycheck. Avoid the big screen TVs, the Ferraris, and the Learjets. That's all for now. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Rob. That was some great advice. Moving home with your parents during the transition phase can save you a lot of money in rent, and no matter what they say, they'll be thankful for the quality time. Next up, we have Chris, who has 5 useful websites that you should check out.
Hey Cheryl, I just got me one of these new typing machines called a computer, and as soon as I find the floppy disk and download the internets onto them, I'm going to show you 5 websites that are just going to change your life because they're awesome. Awesome. First website I was going to talk about is called BeatThat.com. And this website's really cool because it shows deals of the whole day. Man, check this out, all day long. Constantly, people are submitting deals they find on the interwebs all day long. If you submit a great deal, then you could possibly win $125 in cash. The next website I want to talk about is called Covestor.com. Covestor is a really cool website because basically you can take your stock portfolio and match it with this old guy's. And he's really good at it. Look at all this. Look at his. The great part is you can find your favorite old guy to follow. The next website's called CouponSherpa.com. Man, I don't know what a Sherpa is, but I do know what all these stores are. And Kohl's is where my mama got that sweater one time. It was really pretty. Home Depot, man, I'm in there all the time. And if I can get some coupons from there, man, my day's going to be great. I don't know what this place is. This website's called SmartyPig.com. I know what you're thinking. This has got to be a place where you buy bacon. But no, it's not. Instead, it's an online piggy bank where you can save up towards goals like maybe a wedding or a trip or a flat screen TV. The great thing is other people can contribute to your goal through Facebook or that bad word or Gmails or that place no one else goes anymore This last website's called upromise.com. When you sign up for uPromise, then you can contribute to your college savings by shopping at these places you probably already shop at. And that's it for me. Cheryl, you might want to think about getting yourself one of these typing machines. They're really pretty cool. I'll even let you borrow my floppy disk with the internet's on them if you want. But this has been Chris from the great state of Alabama. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Chris. I went and got me one of them there typing machines. It's even got the space there for the floppy disk, so if I could borrow your copy of the internet, that'd be great. Last up, we have Kelsey, who's going to cover what you shouldn't buy used and why.
Hello. So us frugal people like to save money in any way we can, which includes buying used items. Now, buying secondhand stuff is great, but there are some things that you should just never buy used. For safety reasons, don't buy used. Helmets. Did you know that helmets are only meant to protect you against one accident? Damage isn't always visible, so buying new is always a safer bet. Sometimes it's hard to tell if used car tires were part of a total wreck or not. If it wasn't an accident, then the tires are bound to be unreliable and unstable. Here are some things that you shouldn't buy used because of mechanical reasons. Laptops and digital cameras. Because of their portability, laptops and cameras are prone to all sorts of abuse and problems. You have no idea what it's been through or when important parts might die on you. You also don't get the warranties or tech support that come with buying new, so you'll probably just end up spending more to get it fixed. DVD players. While it's smart to buy DVDs used, it's not so smart to buy DVD players used. These have lasers inside of them which will eventually wear out. And finally, things you should not buy used for sanitary reasons. Mattresses. Just think, you might be sleeping in other people's mold, mites, bacteria, and sweat. How gross is that? And besides, even really good mattresses only last 8 to 10 years. Swimsuits. This should be a no-brainer. Shoes. Now, I like shoes, but if you buy used footwear, then it's likely that the pair is already molded to the other person's feet. Poor-fitting shoes are not only uncomfortable, but they're also likely to cause all sorts of health problems. Makeup. A good thing to remember about used makeup is that it is a breeding ground for contagious diseases and bacteria. A lot of you will wake up with pink eye or cold sores. Ew. And finally, hats. Hats are not likely to be cleaned before they are resold. So if you buy a used hat, you don't know if you're getting old sweat stains, old hair products, and other cringe-worthy remnants. So for all of those things, it's worth spending a little bit of extra money. Back to you, Cheryl. Have fun shopping.
Thanks, Kelsey. That was some great information. And that's our show. If you have any feedback or ideas for upcoming episodes, feel free to comment below or email me at livingyoungandfree@gmail.com. Join us next time for more great tips, tricks, and hacks on how to make the most of your money.
Young and Free is a credit union movement that gives young people a voice, a head start, and useful information.